Hello flower friends. Nice to be back demonstrating. I've had probably 4 or 5 months off because of the circumstances at the moment, and I know a lot of my demonstrating colleagues have been making videos and posting them online, so I am a little bit late coming to the party, but I do hope you'll forgive me. And I wanted to show you designs today that are quite easy to do. I'm using foliages from a friend's garden, and I've bought a few flowers, just a few stems of flowers from my local florist, just to give it a bit more oomph to the designs. I thought it would be nice to show you designs that you could perhaps easily replicate at home. And the thing is, what I'm trying to move away from is doing more complicated designs, and also I wanted to use less floral foam if possible, so I'm going to sort of show you different mechanics with each of these videos that I'm going to do for you. So I'm starting off today with a beautiful wooden vase, a sort of beautiful sort of sphere-shaped bowl, and it is wood, but it does have a waterproof lining inside, so that obviously I've got my water in there, so that my water doesn't leak through the container. If you do have a wooden vase that isn't waterproof, you could always put maybe a glass cylinder or something inside, just to make sure that it doesn't leak for you. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was this material. This is like a twisted curled rattan, and I bought this from Country Baskets actually, sort of my sort of local sundries wholesaler, and it comes in sort of little pieces like so. And what they do with it, I assume, is they're straight pieces of rattan, and they soak them so that they become very flexible, and then they sort of curl them, fasten them into knots, and then let it dry, and it keeps that shape then when it's dry. So they're quite an interesting mechanic to use, and they're perfect for this design because I want a design that sort of cascades over the edge of my bowl there. So we can just then hook the rattan in place, and then I'm just going to hook another piece coming in there over the side like that, and we'll get pieces there. They do tangle up quite easily for you, so, and we'll have another piece to come over at the base there. Perhaps that piece will just get it to go in on that side. So that gives me a nice sort of curve coming over the edge of the bowl there. And foliage wise, as I say, I did ask my friend if I could take some foliage from his garden, and he did pull his face a bit. So we're going to have to call this demonstration Stolen Snippets, because I did sort of go out and pinch a little bit. And I've started off with some jasmine. This grows outside in the garden against the wall, and it's got some lovely sort of pieces here. It's still flowering outside at the moment, which is quite nice, and we'll push those through and just catch that into the rattan. So the rattan becomes a frame that you can use to sort of catch your stems in, and it gives you that nice movement coming down there. And we'll have a little bit more coming through just at the back, and I've got a couple more little pieces. I've also got some lovely variegated euonymus as well, and let's bring a little bit of that to come down from. Make sure with your vase, especially when you can't see through the vase, make sure you fill it up as much as possible. Sometimes you forget to sort of keep the water topped up, and when it's a wooden vase like this, you don't see the water going down. So fill it up as much as possible, so if you forget the odd day to top it up, then it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to use a little bit of the euonymus coming out. So the rattan is quite good for just keeping those little bits of foliage just exactly where you want them to go. And I'll bring another little piece in through the front there. So that's my garden foliage that I've popped in to start with, and I've got some clematis that I bought from my local florist, which is Flowers on the Cobbles in Sandbach. The clematis is a lovely, this one's called Amazing Pirouette, and it is a clematis that is grown to cut commercially. So we can then thread that through the rattan there, so that that cascades nicely down towards the front, and get another couple of pieces there, and we'll have a nice piece coming out onto the side, and a little bit more just to bring a bit of colour towards the front there. So as I say, the rattan is really good now for holding those flowers in place, especially when you want that lovely sort of downward sweep into your arrangement there. I've got a few more pieces. I've used, there's actually about, I have cut some of this down a little bit, because you get the, you get the stems that come in, and you've got another little piece on the top there, and but you can cut them down and use them really well throughout the design, because they've still got nice long stems on them, and bring that through at the front there, a bit more in the top. So I don't need any foam in this design, because the rattan is holding my flowers in place there. And I think I'll just have that piece just to come down the front. So I'll just turn that around for you so you can see there. So we've got a nice cascade coming over with the clematis and the jasmine foliage just trailing down through the arrangement. And then I thought I'd put just a couple more flowers in. I've got some stems of astilbe, beautiful sort of pale blush pink astilbe there, tones nicely with the sort of purpley pink of the sorry, I'm struggling to get that in there, and just tones nicely with the purpley pink of the clematis flowers. And so I think those just add a little bit more of a focal interest in the arrangement there. So just takes your eye towards the centre of the design, and it's amazing how there's nice thin stems, and I'm still getting stuck getting them going through there. So I think I'm more or less finished with that arrangement. might just have a taller piece of the euonymus just coming through the back, just to give me a little bit more depth in the arrangement. And another little piece coming through at the front there. And I think we're done with that design, and then I shall come round and just bring the camera a little bit closer so that you can see where we're going.